Hello and welcome to another session of the My Solo 401k Financial Daily Webinar Series. We're excited to discuss today best solo 401k, period. As always, the presentation is being provided for educational purposes only and should not be construed as tax, legal, or investment advice, nor as a solicitation. When making an investment decision, please consult with your tax attorney and financial professional. If you do have questions or topics you'd like to discuss, please chat those over as we love to discuss questions or topics. In the meantime, we'll get started with today's topic that we came to bring and share, which again is best solo 401k, period. To help set the stage, let's first talk about solo 401k eligibility. So a solo 401k is a 401k for a self-employed individual. So specifically an owner-only business with no full-time W-2 employees. So for example, an independent contractor, a solo practicing professional, like a CPA or attorney, or maybe a realtor. The key is that the individual is the owner of the business and there are no non-owner, non-spouse, full-time W-2 employees. Some of the top eligibility considerations would include whether a separate legal entity is needed. And the answer is no. For example, we have many customers who operate without a formal legal entity, such as operate via a sole proprietorship. Of course, if you also have an LLC or an S Corp or even a partnership through which you operate your self-employed business, that's fine also, as long as you are reporting earned self-employment income on your taxes with no non-owner, non-spouse, full-time W-2 employees. So you do need to report earned self-employment income. Examples of earned self-employment income would include income reported on Schedule C of your 1040 in the case of a business that's taxed as a sole proprietorship. Could be an unincorporated business like a 1099 independent contractor, or it could be a single member LLC taxed as a sole proprietorship as a disregarded entity. In the case of a business taxed as an S Corp or a C Corp, W-2 wages from that business taxed as an S Corp or a C Corp would constitute earned self-employment income. And then lastly, income reported on line 14 of a K-1 that one receives from their self-employed business taxed as a partnership is going to constitute earned self-employment income. Now, there's no minimum amount of earned self-employment income that you need in order to be eligible to participate. But of course, your ability to contribute to the plan is a function of your earned self-employment income. Your spouse or business partner may participate as long as your spouse or business partner is receiving their own earned self-employment income, such as their own Schedule C or their own W-2 or their own K-1 with income reported on line 14. You can set up a solo 401k even if you have a W-2 job, a day job, even if you participate in your W-2 employer-sponsored plan. So now let's turn to why the solo 401k is the best, specifically why the solo 401k provided by My Solo 401k Financial is the best solo 401k. And we start out, of course, with expertise and personalized support. So My Solo 401k Financial has been around since 2009. Our owners are very hands-on. We have a team with a deep experience. So we have a lot of experience in the space, a tremendous amount of experience in the space. And we specialize solely in solo 401k plans. So that's all we do 24/7. So we leverage all that experience to just make the process streamlined and be able to provide expert support, including compliance support, to our customers. Next would be the robust features of our plan. Our plan supports advanced options. For example, the Mega Backdoor Roth is one of the top reasons that customers sign up with us, either converting an existing basic solo 401k plan that they might have previously established at a discount brokerage like Fidelity or Schwab, that they now want to upgrade to our plan to take advantage of the service and features, or it could be a new plan. So Mega Backdoor Roth is a strategy that would allow someone to contribute a much higher amount to their retirement account, where the funds end up in a Roth account where they can grow potentially tax-free. So in order to be able to make Mega Backdoor Roth contributions, you need to have a plan like the plan offered by us, by My Solo 401k Financial, that allows for voluntary after-tax contributions as well as in-plan Roth conversions, either to a Roth Solo 401k or a Roth IRA. Of course, additional features of our plan are the ability to make standard Roth contributions, as well as pre-tax contributions, where the individual can reduce their taxable income now. In other words, for the year for which they make the contribution. And then, of course, our plan allows for diversification from a tax perspective. In other words, individuals can make a mixture of pre-tax and Roth and or Mega Backdoor Roth contributions. So besides contributions, which, by the way, the Solo 401k plan has the highest contribution limits for any defined contribution plan available to self-employed individuals. But in addition to all those great contribution features, our plan also allows for Solo 401k loans. So that's where the Solo 401k owner can withdraw money from their Solo 401k. It is not going to be subject to taxes or penalties, and they can use the funds, the proceeds, for any purpose whatsoever, provided that it is documented as a Solo 401k loan and paid back according to those loan terms. So we prepare as an optional free service, in other words, no additional charge, the loan documents. The terms would require that the loan is paid back in either monthly or quarterly payments, equal payments of principal and interest. The interest is either going to be prime plus 1% or a CD rate plus 2%, with those monthly or quarterly payments spread over a 5-year term. Additional top features that attract individuals to our plan is the ability to invest in alternative investments, true alternative investments, whether it's real estate, private placement, private stock, cryptocurrency like Bitcoin, precious metals, etc., notes, liens. So we offer a plan that not only allows for those types of investments, but we also provide educational support, educating our customers every day in terms of the mechanics of making those investments. We're not giving investment advice in terms of what to invest in, but individuals who've made the decision to make those types of investments or want to learn how it works, we provide tremendous educational support in terms of the Solo 401k alternative investing rules. Lastly, in-kind rollovers, as well as in-plan conversions. So our plan would allow individuals to consolidate their retirement accounts as long as it's coming from an eligible retirement account, such as a former employer plan or a non-Roth IRA. And then once the funds are in the Solo 401k, our plan allows for in-plan Roth conversions. So this is where someone already has money in a pre-tax status. Let's say it's a pre-tax former employer plan or a pre-tax IRA that they roll over to the Solo 401k, which we provide tremendous support with that rollover process. And then once the funds are in the Solo 401k, they would be in the pre-tax Solo 401k sub-account. And then if the individual wishes to do so, they can move funds from the pre-tax account to the Roth account. They can move as much or as little as they want. That, of course, is going to be taxable for the year of the conversion from the pre-tax to the Roth. But then going forward, they'd have the potential for tax-free growth. It's also reportable. So that in-plan pre-tax to Roth conversion is reported on a 1099-R, and we handle that 1099-R preparation, as well as electronic filing as an optional free service. In other words, no additional charge. So that brings us to IRS compliance support. So we provide no-cost preparation of critical IRS filings, such as Form 5500EZ and 1099-R, as an optional free service. Customers just have to request it in a timely fashion, and then we'll prepare it for no additional charge. We also handle mandatory IRS amendments and plan updates. So a 401k is a living document in the sense that the rules change, right? The 401k and retirement rules can be political footballs, right? And the rules could change at a regulatory level or at a congressional level, where it may require amendments or plan updates. So whether it's a periodic amendment or one of the amendments that have to, or restatements that have to be done every 6 years, we automatically handle that for our customers proactively, reaching out to provide the documents needed to process the amendment or the plan update or the restatement. And again, that's part of the service for no additional charge. Next would be flat, transparent pricing. So our fee is $650, which is a totally flat fee. So it covers all the ongoing compliance support. There's no asset-based fees or hidden charges. So again, it's $650. That includes the $525 establishment fee plus the first $125 annual fee. And then starting 12 months later, for example, on the anniversary date. So if someone signs up in June of 2025, the annual fee is going to be due in June of the following year, and then again in June thereafter, etc. So again, totally flat. There's no asset-based fees or hidden charges. It covers all that ongoing compliance support for the solo 401k. Next would be flexible account setup. So you can open your solo 401k accounts at the financial institution of your choice. So we've helped customers open up accounts at hundreds of different banks, many different brokerages. For example, Fidelity, Schwab, just to name a couple, as well as local banks or credit union. You can have both bank accounts as well as brokerage accounts for your solo 401k. And we're very hands-on in helping you get those accounts established. Speed and efficiency. We prepare your plan documents within the same business day after sign up. Eligibility for tax credit. So our solo 401k plan qualifies your business to claim up to $1,500 in tax credits over 3 years, $500 a year for 3 consecutive years, which is going to more than cover our fees for the first 7 years. Complete control and investment flexibility. So as trustee of the plan, so a 401k is a retirement trust, and the business owner, the solo 401k owner, is the trustee. So that means you, as the self-employed individual, retain control over the investment decisions. You got the flexibility to invest in alternative investments as well as traditional investments. So it could be investments in a brokerage account, whether it's stocks, bonds, mutual funds, such as through Fidelity or Schwab, as well as the ability to invest in alternative investments, whether it's real estate, private placement, private stock, notes, liens, crypto, etc. So unlike plans at a discount brokerage, our plan is a full feature plan. It allows for more contribution types, more investment choices, more control. And all the while, we're providing that ongoing compliance support. All right, well, that sums up the highlights about why our solo 401k plan is the best solo 401k plan, period. We also, of course, have our community. We've got over 30,000 members. It's a vibrant community. All are welcome. It's totally free to join. You can come and post questions in the forums. We host webinars twice a day, once at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, back again in the afternoon at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. You can find us on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on X. If you subscribe, you'll get notifications of when we go live, so you can come and ask questions. Again, totally free to join. All are welcome. We also have the industry's first AI, which is totally free to use. You're welcome to use it. at solo401k.ai. It's a great way to find answers to questions quickly, as well as other resources. So please don't hesitate. If you're finding this to be helpful, if you could please like this video, it'd be super helpful just to get the word out to other self-employed individuals like you who might find this information to be helpful. We really appreciate that. So our first question here, thank you so much for bringing the question. I've set up a trust account for my solo 401k at a bank to deposit my employer and employee contributions into. To contribute after-tax contributions to the solo 401k, do I need to set up a sub-account, deposit the funds into it, and then transfer the funds to my solo 401k trust account? Great question. So yes, first you need to have a plan like ours that allows for all the different types of contributions. Then you need to have accounts opened up under the name and EIN number of the plan, which we obtained the EIN number as part of the onboarding process. Separate accounts are needed, either if there are different participants, like say a husband and wife that are both working in the same business, both participating in the same solo 401k, or if there are different types of funds, such as pre-tax, Roth, and or after-tax. So if you've been making employee and employer contributions, I presume that those have been made on a pre-tax basis. If that's correct, and now you want to make mega backdoor Roth contributions, assuming you have a plan like ours that allows it, you would need two additional accounts. One would be an after-tax account. The second would be a Roth account, each opened up under the name and EIN number of the plan. So you could just go back to the same bank and have them open up two more accounts. Then the after-tax contribution would need to be deposited into that separate after-tax account before it gets moved to the Roth solo 401k account. In other words, the bank account for Roth funds. So you have to go through that two-step process. Now, the first step, making the after-tax contributions, that is not reportable on the personal tax return or the business tax return. But the second step, when you move the money from the after-tax account to that Roth solo 401k account, that is reportable on a 1099-R. And we prepare that 1099-R as an optional free service. There's a form on our website at mysolo401k.net/forms that customers use to provide us that information so we can capture what's needed to prepare the 1099-R. Great question. Thank you so much for bringing it. Yes, and thank you so much for the good participation and the good question. We'll give it a moment to see if there's any more questions. And in the meantime, we just encourage you to please like, again, the video on whatever platform you're watching on. Please subscribe so you get notifications of when you go live. Don't hesitate to bring questions. Feel free to join the community, etc. Thank you so much, everyone. So until next time, we'll be back tomorrow. All the best.